The day now, mate, you want to hope he does back you for millions. You're going to have to fight anyway when you see.
Get shut down and switched off and potentially banned. You're on about kicking me up the arse when you see me. You won't be kicking anybody. You won't come near me. You'll probably come and shake me hand, and I hope you do, because I ain't got...
John Fury just crossed a line that's about to cost him everything. The man flipped an entire press conference table like it was made of cardboard, sending papers flying and security scrambling while Carl Froch sat there stone-cold silent. But here's what nobody saw coming. Froch didn't react in the moment because he was calculating something way more devastating than throwing a tantrum. While John Fury was basking in the chaos he created, thinking he just dominated the room with his wild stunt, the Cobra was already planning his counterattack. And when it came, it hit harder than any punch Froch ever threw in the ring. $100,000 fine, not a slap on the wrist, not a warning. A financial punishment that would make most people's mortgage look like pocket change. That's how you respond to disrespect when you're Carl Froch. You don't get loud, you get expensive.
So put some fucking respect on the name of John Fury and get that fucking Carl Froch here. If he wants it, I'm fucking here. And anybody else in the fucking building, look here. The ultimate fucking meal.
But this fine just lit a fuse that's about to explode in ways nobody anticipated. John Fury isn't just angry about losing $100,000. He's absolutely livid that Carl Froch had the audacity to make him pay for what he considers standing up for his family. The man who prides himself on being untouchable, who spent years intimidating everyone from promoters to fighters to journalists, just got hit where it hurts most, his wallet and his ego. And now this whole situation has shifted from a publicity stunt gone wrong to something deeply personal. Fury's not just heated, he's plotting revenge. Sources close to the situation say he's been making calls, trying to figure out how to get back at Froch for what he sees as the ultimate disrespect. Because in John Fury's world, you don't find a gypsy king and expect him to just pay up quietly.
Are you ready? Ding ding, round one. I got you now, John. Woo! Woo!
Meanwhile, Carl Froch is sending a message that should terrify anyone paying attention. The man's in the gym absolutely demolishing a heavy bag like it owes him money, and he's not just working out, he's making a statement. At 48 years old, when most former champions are sitting on commentary panels talking about their glory days, Froch is moving like he could step back in the ring tomorrow and destroy someone half his age. Each punch he's throwing carries decades of championship-level precision, and he's doing it while calmly explaining that John Fury will run the moment he sees what real violence looks like. This isn't some desperate attempt to stay relevant. This is a legendary fighter reminding everyone why they called him the Cobra, because when he strikes, it's lethal, calculated, and absolutely final. The confidence radiating from every combination he throws isn't just impressive, it's genuinely intimidating.
John Fury's problem is this, I love him. I think he's got small dick syndrome, that's his problem. He's got small man dick syndrome. If he had a bigger dick, maybe he'll walk in the room and say, you know, I'm here. But he's got small dick, so that's why he has to shout out a lot.
Right. I'm a machine! Me! Can anybody question who I am here? If I say come on!
And get this, Derek Chisora just threw gasoline on this entire fire with the most brutal psychological breakdown you'll ever hear. The man looked straight into the camera and basically called John Fury a coward hiding behind all that shouting and table-flipping chaos. According to Chisora, all that noise and drama isn't confidence, it's desperation. It's what happens when someone knows deep down they can't back up their mouth with their fists. This is coming from a heavyweight who's faced every monster in the division and never backed down from anyone. When Derek Chisora questions your heart, that's not just trash talk. That's a professional assessment from someone who understands the difference between real toughness and performance art. And the most devastating part? He's contrasting Fury's theatrical outbursts with Froch's calm, controlled response. One man needs to flip tables to get attention. The other just needs to show up.
Stay out of trouble, because If you don't, there's going to be serious ramifications. So stay piped down, stay in your box, keep your mouth shut, and we don't want to see any more of you at the press conference.
Here's where this whole situation gets absolutely wild. At the next press conference face-off, Carl Froch looked John Fury dead in the eyes and delivered a warning that sent chills through everyone in attendance. No raised voice, no dramatic gestures, just pure Cobra energy, calm, controlled, and deadly serious. The man who knocked out George Groves in front of 80,000 people at Wembley was channeling that same ice-cold killer instinct, but this time it was personal. Froch wasn't just talking about what would happen in a hypothetical fight. He was explaining the serious consequences that were about to come down on Fury for thinking he could disrespect a legend without paying the price. And you could see it in John Fury's face. For the first time in this whole saga, the man who intimidates everyone was getting a taste of what real intimidation feels like when it comes from someone who's actually been there and done that at the highest level.
Watch on fine, because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did a job. John did a job and got the excitement going. Got people talking, that's exactly what he did.
Johnny Nelson dropped some serious insight that explains exactly why this situation has gotten so out of control. According to the former cruiserweight champion, John Fury's table-flipping antics weren't just random chaos. They were a calculated move to burst the room wide open and get everyone talking. And it worked perfectly. The problem is, Fury stirred up the wrong person. Carl Froch isn't some young fighter looking to make a name for himself or some promoter trying to sell tickets. He's a Hall of Fame-level boxer who's dealt with every type of mental warfare imaginable, and his patience isn't weakness, it's strategic. While everyone else gets caught up in the immediate drama and social media buzz, Froch is playing chess. He's letting Fury dig his own grave with these outbursts, then responding with moves that have real consequences. The fine wasn't just punishment. It was a demonstration of power that shows who really controls this situation.
And you shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game.
But here's what makes this whole thing even more fascinating. This isn't actually unprecedented in boxing history. Wade pointed out that chaos, temper tantrums, and publicity stunts have always been part of the fight game's DNA. The difference is how each personality handles the aftermath. John Fury pushed the limits because that's what gets attention in today's social media-driven world. But Carl Froch's response proves exactly why he was feared during his championship reign. The man doesn't just talk, he acts strategically, with precision, and with consequences that actually matter. While other people might have responded to that table flip with their own theatrical outburst, Froch hit back in a way that actually hurt. And that's why fans are absolutely glued to every moment of this showdown. It's not just entertainment, it's a masterclass in how real power operates versus how fake power performs.
Do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they both have a good fun doing that, but I'm sure it's all fun and games. They like to say what they...
Adam Smith hit the nail on the head when he analyzed the electric chemistry between these two completely different personalities. You've got John Fury, who thrives on unpredictability and creating chaos wherever he goes, facing off against Carl Froch, who built his legendary career on precision, timing, and ice-cold composure under pressure. Both men know how to work a crowd and create compelling drama, but their methods are polar opposites. Fury brings the explosion, flipping tables, shouting, making scenes that go viral within minutes. Froch brings the implosion, calculated moves that destroy opponents mentally before any physical confrontation even begins. Together, they're creating this magnetic drama that transcends typical boxing beef, because it represents two completely different philosophies of power and intimidation. Every time they face off, you're watching raw emotion clash with championship-level discipline, and the tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife.
To say something that's controversial, and they're two big characters, and we love having them around.
Frank Warren tried to bring some sanity to this situation by criticizing all the unnecessary drama, arguing that a good fight should sell itself on skill and competition rather than needing chaos and publicity stunts. But here's the thing, this is exactly what John Fury delivered, and it's exactly what the fans are eating up. Pure, unfiltered unpredictability that you can't script or manufacture. Carl Froch handled Warren's concerns by demonstrating the kind of discipline that only comes from being a true champion who's faced real adversity in the ring. The contrast between Fury's explosive madness and Froch's calculated responses isn't just entertaining, it's a study in human psychology under pressure. Every gesture, every word, Every glare adds another layer to this story, and fans literally cannot look away because they know something significant is always about to happen when these two are in the same room.
John Fury, Carl Froch, who wins that one?
Difficult one to call, that, isn't it?
Really?
You got to go with the
Really?
Cobra. You got to go with the Cobra, mate.
Really?
The Cobra's dangerous. He's still in shape. 48 years of age.
John's standing over there behind you.
You got to go with John Fury. Yeah, no, it kicked off a little bit. But it wasn't only Carl Froch that he went into either, did he? He actually went into Lennox Lewis as well. He started steaming into Lennox Lewis a little bit, and I go, whoa, who wins that one?
Spencer Oliver broke down the insane unpredictability factor that makes this matchup absolutely irresistible to fight fans worldwide. Both John Fury and Carl Froch are dangerous in completely different ways, which creates this perfect storm of uncertainty that even experienced boxing analysts can't predict. Froch's precision and reputation as the Cobra make him a formidable opponent who's proven he can end fights with one perfectly timed shot. But Fury's raw aggression and complete unpredictability mean that literally anything can happen when he's involved. The man has no filter, no boundaries, and no fear of consequences, which makes him incredibly dangerous even against someone with Froch's championship pedigree. When even legends like Lennox Lewis get caught in the crossfire of John Fury's chaotic energy, you know you're dealing with someone who operates outside normal rules. This collision of pure chaos and disciplined skill creates a scenario where predicting a winner becomes almost impossible. And that uncertainty is what makes every interaction between them absolutely must-watch television.
You honestly think if these two come together like this, well, you know what's going to happen?
So what
I'm going to keep them apart by a wall of security.
Eddie Hearn acknowledged the pure chaos these two personalities could unleash if they were ever left alone in a room without security barriers and promotional constraints. John Fury's explosive energy, combined with Carl Froch's lethal precision, isn't just a recipe for great entertainment. It's a recipe for absolute madness that could spiral out of control in seconds. Those security barriers at press conferences aren't just precautionary measures, they're acknowledgments of how dangerous and unpredictable this situation has become. Both men thrive on intensity and dominance, but they express it in radically different ways. Froch keeps his cool while calculating every potential strike and counterstrike, operating like the championship-level boxer he's always been. Fury operates on pure instinct and raw emotion, making decisions in real time based on whatever he's feeling in that exact moment. The contrast alone makes every build-up moment fascinating, and the entire boxing world is watching and waiting to see who cracks first under the mounting pressure.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer, or just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. I'm going to prove to everybody out there.
Now here's where John Fury's psychology gets really interesting. The man is out here bragging with full intensity about his gypsy-style training and lifestyle, painting this picture of pure raw survival and self-made toughness. No fancy trainers, no high-tech gyms, no sports scientists, just relentless work ethic and natural aggression forged through decades of real-world confrontations. This is exactly why Carl Froch takes Fury seriously despite all the theatrical antics and publicity stunts. Fury's unpredictability doesn't come from being unhinged. It comes from a completely different approach to preparation and mental warfare that most traditional fighters never encounter. When he talks about his background and training methods, every word oozes menace, resilience, and defiance that makes even legends like Eddie pay attention. He's building this persona that suggests he can shock anyone, including world-class fighters, because he's been preparing for conflict his entire life in ways that don't show up on any conventional boxing resume.
Like, you can talk about someone online and do videos, but not expect someone to say anything when you see someone. So I don't know. Listen, my dad's got his ways and his points, and 90% of the time he's half right, but listen.
Eddie Hearn gave the most brutally honest assessment of what would actually happen if these two ever got into a real confrontation. Carl Froch is absolutely deadly with his precision and championship-level technique. But John Fury's raw size advantage and complete unpredictability make him a legitimate threat, even against someone with Froch's credentials. The reality is that illegal tactics and street fighting instincts don't follow Queensberry rules, and Fury has made it clear he's willing to cross lines that most fighters won't even approach. Any clash between them would be intensely chaotic, with Froch swinging with surgical precision, while Fury's sheer aggression and size could potentially overwhelm anyone who isn't prepared for that level of raw violence. Fight fans are absolutely salivating at the thought of these two colliding, because it represents the ultimate battle between technical skill and brute force. The suspense of wondering who could dominate in close quarters adds another layer of excitement that makes this one of the most tantalizing hypothetical matchups in recent memory.
Being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
Shane Fury tried to provide some insight into the logic behind his father's seemingly crazy behavior, explaining that John Fury operates on a completely different level when it comes to face-to-face confrontations versus online interactions. According to Shane, his father's unpredictability is actually his greatest weapon. People never know which version of John Fury they're going to encounter until it's too late. This method in the madness approach means that Fury lives by his own rules and actively challenges anyone who tries to underestimate him or put him in a box. While Carl Froch may have superior technical skills and championship discipline, Fury's willingness to cross social and physical boundaries makes every single interaction explosive and potentially dangerous. This is exactly why their rivalry has fans glued to every clip, every reaction, and every social media post, because everyone knows that any moment could escalate into something completely unpredictable and unforgettable.
Face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not a fan.
De Oladipo highlighted the sheer unpredictability that makes John Fury such a compelling and dangerous personality in these high-pressure situations. The man lunged forward at that press conference without any hesitation whatsoever, leaving everyone in attendance wondering what the hell was about to happen next. This split-second decision-making and willingness to act on pure instinct is exactly why every controlled environment becomes potentially explosive when Fury's involved. Carl Froch might be calm and collected with decades of championship experience, but Fury's complete audacity and lack of boundaries forces even legends to react and adjust their approach. Fans literally cannot look away because every gesture, every sudden movement, and every verbal exchange carries the potential for serious consequences. This isn't just manufactured drama for social media. This is a genuine clash of personalities where raw instinct and aggression meet experience and technical skill. Fury's energy guarantees that any meeting becomes electrifying, and Froch's measured responses only add to the mounting suspense that keeps everyone on the edge of their seats.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer, or just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style, and I'm going to prove to everybody out there.
Simon Jordan reflected on how controversial actions and boundary-pushing behavior have always been part of boxing culture, pointing out that John Fury's limit-testing antics are shocking, but not entirely unprecedented in a sport built on controlled violence and larger-than-life personalities. Fight fans understand that when big egos clash and stakes get high, tempers will flare and dramatic confrontations become inevitable. The fascinating dynamic between Fury's chaos and Froch's control creates this perfect storm that keeps audiences completely hooked, because literally anything can happen at any moment. Jordan's analysis shows that while some behavior seems extreme to outsiders, it's actually part of the spectacle that hardcore boxing fans absolutely crave. The tension isn't just physical, it's psychological warfare at the highest level. Watching John Fury challenge everyone around him, including established legends, while Carl Froch maintains his composure and responds strategically, adds multiple layers of excitement and unpredictability. This is why every press conference, every stare-down, and every verbal exchange becomes must-watch content for fans who love their boxing drama mixed with genuine intelligence and skill.
I'm not saying that I condone that behaviour, because I don't. You can't, it's impossible to. But John is my mate, I've got respect for him, I respect the family, we're cool. So you're never going to hear me say a bad word about it, but at the same time, obviously, no. It's probably not the Steve Bunce thing. I thought, bloody hell.
Dave Allen provided a fan and friend perspective on John Fury's chaotic behavior that reveals the deeper complexity behind all the theatrical outbursts and publicity stunts. Despite not condoning some of the more extreme actions, Allen respects the man and his family while acknowledging the authentic energy and loyalty that comes with Fury's larger-than-life persona. Even when John crosses lines that make people uncomfortable, those who know him personally understand that he operates outside normal social boundaries for reasons that go deeper than just seeking attention. His confrontations with Carl Froch aren't just random fights. They're spectacular displays of personality, strategy, and raw human emotion that reveal character under extreme pressure. Allen's commentary demonstrates why viewers remain glued to every press conference and social media interaction, because John Fury commands attention through sheer force of will, while Carl Froch commands respect through proven championship credentials. The electric tension between them creates iconic moments that fans will be talking about for years, regardless of whether any actual physical confrontation ever takes place. The stage is absolutely set, and tensions could not possibly be any higher between these two legendary personalities. John Fury has proven beyond any doubt that he will do literally anything to make an impact and completely shake up whatever scene he enters, while Carl Froch remains calm, calculated, and deadly precise in every response. If Fury somehow wins this psychological warfare battle, it would cement his reputation as unpredictable, fearless, and completely unstoppable in the eyes of fight fans everywhere who love seeing establishment figures challenged. On the other hand, if Froch shocks the world and comes out on top through superior strategy and composure, it will demonstrate that championship-level skill and mental discipline always triumph over raw chaos and theatrical intimidation tactics. This is as much a mental battle as it would be physical, with questions of who wants it more, who can maintain their cool under extreme pressure, and who will control the tempo when emotions run completely wild. Fans are witnessing a collision of personalities where every stare, every movement, and every carefully chosen word carries massive significance. This is the kind of rivalry that gets remembered and discussed for decades because the energy is electric. The stakes feel genuinely massive, and you literally cannot take your eyes off what happens next. Drop a comment below and tell us whose side you're on and what you think will actually happen when these two giants finally collide. And if this breakdown helped you understand what's really happening behind all the drama, smash that like button, subscribe for more boxing breakdowns, and hit the notification bell because this situation is about to get even crazier.